Good morning. Before we begin this morning's reflection, let us remind ourselves that feeling weak is not the end of the journey. It is an opportunity to reconnect with the wisdom and strength that already resides within us. Are you in a place where everything feels overwhelming? Perhaps you're looking at the responsibilities in your life, the aspirations you've held, and the challenges ahead, feeling utterly drained. The good news is that even in moments of weakness, you have the capacity to draw upon inner strength, inspired by the Buddhist teachings, to carry on with clarity and courage. In moments of struggle, it's important to turn inward and seek refuge in the guidance of the Buddha. Do not remain silent, nor force yourself to push through your difficulties with limited reserves of energy. Instead, pause and acknowledge your feelings. The Buddha teaches us to embrace mindfulness, recognizing our challenges with compassion while seeking the strength to overcome them. The nature of life is impermanence, and even this phase of difficulty will pass when we trust the path. There is a profound difference between struggling alone and embracing the power of mindfulness and inner awareness. Relying solely on our personal strength can leave us feeling depleted, but aligning with the wisdom of the Buddha allows us to tap into a boundless source of resilience. The teachings remind us that just as the sun rises after the darkest night, our moments of weakness are opportunities for growth and awakening. It is through these trials that we come to understand the strength of perseverance and the clarity of compassion. The Dhammapada says, just as a mountain is unmoved by the wind, so too the wise remain steady amidst praise or blame. Even in moments of challenge, when it feels as though the storms of life are too much to bear, we can remain steady by grounding ourselves in the teachings of the Buddha. The practices of mindfulness, meditation, and loving kindness serve as a refuge, helping us to move forward with patience and trust. When you feel weak, do not give in to despair. The mind may try to convince you that giving up is easier, but this is the voice of doubt, not truth. Instead, remember that every obstacle is an opportunity to grow. The Buddhist teachings show us that challenges are not here to defeat us. They are here to refine us. In the path of purification, we are reminded, just as gold is purified by fire, so too is the mind purified by challenges. Consider the story of Ananda, the Buddha's devoted attendant, who often found himself overwhelmed by the demands of his path. Despite his struggles, he turned to the Buddha's wisdom for guidance and strength, discovering that true resilience lies in surrendering to the present moment and trusting the practice. This reminds us that even when the task feels monumental, the key is to remain present, focusing on one step at a time. The Buddha teaches us that patience and perseverance are essential virtues on the path to awakening. In one of his discourses, he says, "Endurance is the highest practice, and patience is the highest wisdom." When you feel discouraged, know that every small effort you make contributes to the greater whole. Like drops of water filling a jar, each mindful action adds to your strength and resilience. Think of Nehemiah's story from the Buddhist perspective, a leader working to rebuild the walls of his community, surrounded by obstacles and opposition. Though his strength and the strength of his people waned, he reminded them to remain mindful and steady. Similarly, in the Buddhist tradition, we are encouraged to face obstacles with equanimity, knowing that persistence rooted in mindfulness leads to success. This is the path of the Bodhisattva, one who works tirelessly for the benefit of all beings, despite the challenges they face. When the burden feels too heavy, pause and take a deep breath. Inhale slowly, and exhale with the intention of releasing tension and worry. Remind yourself of the Buddha's words, "With our thoughts, we make the world." If your mind is consumed with fear and doubt, your strength will falter. But if your thoughts are grounded in mindfulness, loving kindness, and trust, you will find the energy to move forward. The practice of meditation offers us a profound source of strength. By sitting quietly, focusing on the breath, and observing the sensations of the body, we create space for renewal and insight. The Buddha taught that the mind, like a restless monkey, can be calmed through consistent practice. When you feel overwhelmed, take a few moments to sit in stillness, letting go of the noise of the outside world. In that stillness, You will discover that strength and clarity were within you all along. Just as the Buddha guided his disciples to overcome doubt, he guides us today through his teachings. Remember the story of the lotus flower, a beautiful bloom that emerges from muddy waters. This symbolizes our ability to rise above challenges, transforming difficulties into opportunities for growth. Your struggles are not the end of the path. They are the soil in which your inner wisdom can flourish. When you feel drained, visualize the Buddha's teachings as a gentle light, illuminating the path ahead. This light reminds us that we are not alone, even in our darkest moments. The Sangha, or spiritual community, is there to support us, and the wisdom of the Buddha offers guidance that transcends time. Trust in this connection, and know that you have the strength to continue. If you find yourself facing physical challenges or illness, remind yourself of the healing power of mindfulness and compassion. The Buddha teaches that the mind and body are interconnected, and by cultivating peace within, we can promote healing and resilience. For those facing emotional burdens, such as anxiety or sadness, the practice of loving-kindness meditation can help. Sending thoughts of love and compassion to yourself and others creates a ripple of positivity that soothes the heart. For those who feel spiritually drained or distant from their practice, remember that the Buddha's teachings are always available to you. A single step toward mindfulness, a deep breath, a moment of gratitude, or a kind word can rekindle your connection to the path. The Buddha reminds us, do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. It is in the present moment that you will find the strength you seek. Take solace in knowing that even when the path feels difficult, the Buddha's wisdom is there to guide you. His teachings remind us to trust the process, to be patient with ourselves, and to keep moving forward, no matter how small the steps. As you continue your journey, remember that your efforts are meaningful. Every act of mindfulness, every moment of perseverance, contributes to your growth and the well-being of all beings. May you find strength in the Buddha's teachings, courage in the face of challenges, and peace in the present moment. As we conclude this reflection, let us take a moment to sit in gratitude for the wisdom and guidance that support us on our path. May your heart be light, your mind be clear, and your steps be steady as you walk forward with confidence and trust. If this message resonates with you, I invite you to share it with others who may need encouragement today. Together, as a community, we can uplift one another and continue to grow in mindfulness and compassion. Thank you for joining me on this journey. May the Buddha's teachings inspire you always, and may peace be with you. As we reflect on the strength we can cultivate during times of weakness, it's important also to remember the guidance that keeps us moving forward. The Buddha's teachings offer not only the resilience to face life's challenges, but also the wisdom to navigate our journey with clarity and purpose. Now, let us explore how trusting in the Buddha's wisdom can illuminate our path, helping us uncover the peace and balance that lie within. Today, let us reflect on a profound truth. Life's greatest comfort comes from knowing that the Buddha's wisdom has already illuminated a path for each of us. This path, filled with balance, purpose, and clarity, is always available to guide us, no matter how lost or uncertain we may feel. The challenges of life often cloud our vision, making us question our next steps. Yet, in those moments, the Buddha teaches us to pause, breathe, and trust in the unfolding of the journey. The wisdom we need is already within us, waiting to be discovered. Imagine an artist working patiently with a piece of clay. Each movement removes what is unnecessary, shaping the clay into something beautiful and complete. Our lives, too, are like this. The Buddha's teachings, like the hands of the artist, gently shape us, helping us let go of ignorance, doubt, and fear. What remains is our true nature, compassionate, peaceful, and wise. This process may not always be easy, but with trust in the Buddha's guidance, we can uncover the beauty within ourselves and walk the path toward awakening. The Buddha reminds us that the way forward begins with presence. Be mindful, he teaches, and the path will reveal itself. This wisdom calls us to approach each day with intention, focusing not on the uncertainty ahead, but on the steps we are taking right now. The Buddha's words are not just ancient teachings. They are a living guide to navigating life's complexities with clarity and confidence. Every word carries the potential to bring light to our minds and peace to our hearts. The Buddha uses the metaphor of a lamp to explain how his teachings illuminate our way. Just as a lamp dispels darkness, his wisdom cuts through confusion, revealing the truth that has always been there. When faced with challenges, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Yet, the Buddha reminds us that clarity and strength come from turning inward, finding stillness, and trusting the light of his teachings. Consider the story of Siddhartha Gautama, sitting beneath the Bodhi tree, surrounded by doubt and temptation. He chose not to resist or run, but to embrace stillness and awareness. Through patience and mindfulness, he achieved enlightenment, showing us that the path to peace begins with trusting ourselves and the wisdom of the Buddha. His journey teaches us that even when life feels difficult, we have the tools within us to overcome and thrive. The Buddha's teachings challenge us to take actions that may feel difficult at first, letting go of attachments, forgiving others, and choosing kindness over anger. These practices are not burdens. They are opportunities to align with truth and uncover lasting peace. When we embrace these lessons, we discover that the strength to move forward has always been within us. To truly experience this strength, we must cultivate mindfulness. The Buddha teaches, with mindfulness, we build the foundation for wisdom. This practice allows us to approach life with clarity and intention, opening the door to insight. Meditation becomes a powerful tool here. By sitting quietly and observing our breath, we create space to reconnect with the present moment and let go of distractions. The Buddha himself demonstrated the power of mindfulness in his teachings. He often responded to challenges with compassion and deep understanding, showing us how to navigate life with grace. When we feel overwhelmed, we can draw strength from his example, remembering that each mindful moment brings us closer to peace. The Buddha reassures us of the inherent goodness in life, teaching us to see challenges as opportunities for growth. He says, just as a lotus blooms in muddy water, so too can wisdom arise from difficulty. This truth reminds us that even in moments of struggle, we have the ability to transform pain into understanding and hardship into compassion. When life feels overwhelming, it's easy to want to give up. But the Buddha teaches us that perseverance is key. Endurance, he says, is the greatest practice. Each step we take, no matter how small, brings us closer to our goals. Like drops of water filling a jar, every effort contributes to our growth and progress. Think of Nehemiah's story through the lens of Buddhist teachings. Someone working to rebuild a broken community, surrounded by obstacles and doubt. Despite the challenges, Nehemiah inspired his people to persevere, trusting in a greater purpose. Similarly, the Buddha reminds us that by cultivating patience and resilience, we can overcome any obstacle and bring harmony to our lives and the lives of others. When you feel weak or discouraged, take a moment to pause. Breathe deeply and remind yourself of the Buddha's words. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. By grounding ourselves in mindfulness, we can shift our perspective from fear to courage, from doubt to trust. Each breath becomes a step toward clarity and strength. Meditation is not just a practice, it is a refuge. Sitting quietly, observing your breath, and letting go of distractions allows you to find peace within yourself. In those moments of stillness, you reconnect with the wisdom of the Buddha, discovering that you already have the strength to carry on. The Buddha's teachings remind us that we are never alone. His wisdom is a light that guides us, and the Sangha, our spiritual community, offers support and encouragement. Together, we walk the path, drawing strength from one another and from the teachings that connect us all. For those facing physical challenges or illness, the Buddha teaches that healing begins within. By cultivating mindfulness and compassion, we can create conditions for the body and mind to recover. For those struggling emotionally, practices like loving-kindness meditation can bring comfort and ease. And for those feeling distant from their practice, the Buddha's words are always available to guide you back to the path. Each moment, he reminds us, is an opportunity to begin again. Even when the way ahead feels uncertain, Trust that every step you take is meaningful. The Buddha's wisdom is a gift, guiding us through life's complexities with grace and insight. As you walk this path, may you find peace in the present moment and the courage to face whatever lies ahead. Thank you for joining me in this reflection today. If these words resonate with you, I invite you to share them with others who may need encouragement. Together, we can inspire one another to live with mindfulness, compassion, and trust in the Buddha's teachings. May your heart be light, your steps steady, and your mind clear as you journey forward.